Right then, another TT video. So that if you watch the last few videos, we're freshening it up, getting it all painted, getting it nice, ready for this season's racing, which you seem like we've got a long time after the last event, which ended up being in November. A lot of people's ends in sort of October. Ours ended in like the end of November. And then the first race that we're going to try and do is in the middle of March. So it's not a lot of time to completely gut a car and completely do everything. So, especially when we've got another one to do the exact same work on, but we didn't know how I want to do it until we've done this one and tested it. So yeah, painful. So anyway, Paul's getting the pedal box in, which has proven to be a little bit of a pain, but he's got it all to fit back in now, so we just need to bolt the dash bar back up and away we go. Then we're going to get all the wiring finished, get that thrown in, and then we can start putting all the new tailgate on and all that sort of stuff and get it to be watertight so it can, and the doors back on. We'll get it watertight so we can go back outside, and yeah, lots to do. Paul's already done a little bit of filming, so we'll put that in. Yeah, we've got some thermal barriers to put in underneath on the transmission tunnel, but we've still got the Q7 stuck on the ramp. So until that's done, Paul don't want to get this on the ramp unless he can get it on and just blitz everything. So we'll see how we get on. So Paul's getting cracked on with the inside, which we'll look at that in a minute. The other side that I wanted to talk about, we took this off a week or so ago, and I took it over to Oliver at AJ Glass Fibre in Castleford, and he's moulded this now. So this looks terrible. It's not the best. Paul did what he needed to do to get it working in the timescales that we had last time. But this was basically from a TCR car, an old TCR car, so like a 2014 one, 2013, and then chopped and made to fit the TT. So it's a TTRS intercooler, and then a chopped down version of our radiator, Mark 6 Golf one, not the Mark 7 one. And this worked to treat everything dropped by 30 degrees, so inlet air temps and coolant temps, 30 degrees straight away. Pardon me. I'm all right till I start talking. So we've had these moulded because we can't get hold of them, and the modifications took that long that it weren't worth trying to make them one-off every time. If we have a crash, it's just a massive job to try and get it all working again. So, because obviously if you don't put this on, none of this will work. So we've got that moulded. The new one should be back before this second car's built, which will be good. But for now, this one's just got to go back on this car, and we'll maybe swap it out later on, or just wait until it gets smashed or whatever. We'll see. But this is what we ended up with. So all these brackets are what holds it all up, and this is bolted up as well. So this is a transmission cooler. So that doesn't get much air through the back of it, but it gets a fair bit at the front. And then we made all the pipe work to sort of hold this up here, which is under a bit of tension, that. And then all these brackets and everything. So we've not got a slam panel anymore. So Paul's going to have to sort of, not jig, we don't have to jig everything up, but he's going to make all these for the second car, and then we should just be able to unbolt it and bolt it straight back on. So engine-wise, we're pretty much sorted with this. We might try another turbo, but whether we get a chance to do that before the next test. Gearbox-wise, this has still got the long ratios in, but we're going to test it as it is because we had gearbox problems, but we think it was wiring related. So we're going to get that tested anyway and see how we get on with that. So yeah, forgetting about that now. Not be long, it'll all be back together. Interior wise, we're getting somewhere. All the brake lines are in, the reservoirs are in, the fire extinguishers pretty much piped up now. Batteries in, just needs the main power cables going to it. Isolator just wants wiring up, which shouldn't take too long. Pedal box done. The air jacks are in, and pardon me, the air jacks are in, they just want the pipe work doing, which is the next job. Then the interior is not that far off, to be fair, so V-box to go back in and stuff like that. So there's a bit of work, but not days and days and days. And then the next one will be a lot quicker because we've got the templates for the pedal box. We know we're going to do it exactly the same as this, so we can make all the brackets the same and everything, and just get it attacked. So should be pretty good. Yeah, can't think of anything else that we need to do now, but there's a lot of work to do still, but we'll keep plugging away. So while I were away yesterday, Paul's got cracking. We've put a new front bumper on, which looks a lot better than the old one. We're still going to put a new splitter on. We haven't had a chance to do that yet, but this has been trimmed a lot nicer, a lot neater, so it don't look as in your face as it did before. So happy with that. Definitely better second time round. Interior wise, we've got, move this jack out this way. The doors are back on, which is another good thing. Feel a lot lighter when you're opening them as well. So he's done all the wiring for the battery, which he's done a nice neat job of it, but there is still a lot of wiring. It's because of how this isolator works, you've got to have the alternator wire going to it so that you can actually kill it properly. A little bit of neatening up to do. We've got the clocks, the original clocks are just stashed down there, but we have got a guy who's doing us like an emulator thing to be able to get rid of that, so we're hoping that gets sorted probably Monday now, so we'll see. But everything else in, just got the V-box stuff to put in, and then we can put the harness in, and then the interior's pretty much sorted really. A couple of little tiny bits of stuff to do, nothing too major. The air jack pipes are the main thing, but he's going to get onto that as well. So it's taking a bit longer than we wanted to, but that's how it goes. Still needs a good clean. The tailgate, the new tailgate's just going on, but then we need to take the spoiler off the old one that's full of filler, which you can see here. The old one needs to get that took off and adjust the mounts and stuff, so it's still quite a bit of work to do. The window to come out, which is going to be fun because that's bonded in. So yeah, a lot of work to do on this as well. Not really. Not sure how far behind we're going to be with this project or not, but we'll see. We can all do what we can do.
Hello.
So, we're in the dyno now. Paul's camera skills again are definitely lacking. I'd like to have seen it first start and driving over here, but it runs. So what we're doing now, well, I'll look at what we've not done, because that finishes that video, and then we'll start another video. That makes more sense. Anyway, so the window won't come out of the old tailgate. That's bonded in. The original spoiler won't come out of the old tailgate. That's bonded in. So we're going to have to get cab glass to come chop that out for us. So that's another job. Just on with sorting the boot pins, and then the dyno became available. So Paul sort of just rushed it out. We've not had a chance to test the air jacks yet, but I'm pretty sure the flaring tool we've got's not worked properly from the initial quick, put some air pressure through it. It's not worked. We've got some of the V-box is installed at the moment, but not everything, so we're waiting on a bracket, so we'll pick that up later on. We've figured out that there's an issue with the connector on the shifter, so that's been the problem all along, but it didn't help. The only reason we figured that out is because we put a new shifter in, that wasn't working, and then we took it to bits and realised it were all absolutely smashed to death inside, so God knows what car that's come out of, but that's going back anyway. So yeah, all the little stuff, it just took forever. It's an absolute nightmare. Paul's been saying it'll be ready today, and that's probably 3 days ago, work time-wise. So it is what it is. That's what this sort of jobs work out, and that's why I don't like doing these sort of jobs for customers, because it just turns into an absolute nightmare. I have no idea how car preparation companies make money. They must just charge for every hour and hope for the best, because ridiculous the amount of labour it takes to do them. So some of the stuff we'll try and record it getting sorted, because I think the last final touches will actually look like we're doing something, whereas previously they haven't. Paul's learnt an hell of a lot putting this together for how he wants to do the next one, because there's been a lot of stuff routed in different ways and stuff like that. So there'll be, I know the main thing that he was talking about was tons more tabs to tie wrap stuff to, which sounds a bit rough, but easier than sticking these things on. Yeah, lots and lots of different things that we're going to do in the next one. So yeah, not sure what else he's to talk about with that. He's done all sorts of stuff, but we'll have to hack it together and see what the video looks like, but hopefully it's alright. But the next video, we'll talk about what we're doing here. We'll see.